And joining us now from Washington is David Mark, senior editor for Politico. Good morning, David.
Good morning. Good to be with you.
Good to have you here. So let's discuss Helen Thomas. She made these comments at the tail end of a long career, as we just heard Joel Brown reporting. Were you surprised that she said these things?
I wasn't all that surprised by the sentiment. They were rather virulent. They went further than we've ever heard Mrs. Thomas suggest before. But her questioning over the years, even over the decades, suggests that she wasn't all that friendly to Israel. And this kind of just took it to an extreme. And in the end, it finished off her own career.
As we've seen in media these days, the lines seem to be drawn at times between commentating and reporting. Was this an instance of this, and is this how she's going to be remembered?
Hopefully this will not be how her career is remembered in totality. I think most people would agree that one mistake should not make a legacy. The problem for Mrs. Thomas is these are comments along the lines of which she had said many times before, and I think that's what really finished her off. I think she will still go on, as we just heard in the piece, as a pioneer, a trailblazer, the first female bureau chief in the White House, that sort of thing. But this is kind of an ugly end to her long and storied career.
Did she necessarily have to retire over these comments?
It didn't seem like she really had much choice. Her former employer put out a pretty stark statement saying that she was retiring specifically because of these statements. There was no glossing over it, no spin involved here. It was pretty direct. So I think she really didn't have much choice but to step down.
The way the internet is these days and how quickly things spread, we've seen some other comments recently, the one from the CEO of BP. Do you have to be so incredibly careful with what you say in the context of it, or do you think people are understanding when they hear maybe the rest of the story?
I think the savvier political operators realize that any word you say, any sentence is going to be parsed and dissected, and you probably won't get that second chance to explain yourself. Now, most people don't really think that way. They don't construct their lives in that manner. But in this case, Mrs. Thomas was in the White House. She was on White House grounds. It was pretty clear who was interviewing her, so it's not exactly like she was ambushed on this.
All right, David Mark from Politico. David, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.